So, that's better. So each one of us has a favorite TV program. Maybe it's something that we watched when we were kids, or perhaps it's a program that's on TV right now. But what you might not realize is that for some of your favorite TV shows, alternate theories have been developed as to what is actually happening in the storyline, many of which would make you think twice. So if you thought you knew exactly what was going on in television shows like the Flintstones, SpongeBob, and even Game of Thrones, you're going to want to keep watching. So without further ado, here they are, 10 scarily plausible TV show theories. Number 1 is the Rugrats never happened. Rugrats was a massive cartoon show in the 1990s that revolved around a group of toddlers and their adventures. In fact, the series was so popular that it lasted several seasons and even had a film produced. But it may have all been a grand psychological lie. This theory says that all of the Rugrats were really just a figment of the oldest Rugrat, Angelica's, imagination. What? I know, just hear me out. This one's a little disturbing. The explanation is that Chucky died a long time ago along with his mother. That's why Chaz, his father, is a nervous wreck all the time. Tommy was a stillborn. That's why his father Stu is always in the basement making toys for his son who never got a chance to live. The DeVilles had an abortion, and since Angelica couldn't figure out whether it was going to be a boy or a girl, she created the twins. And finally, this theory explains why Angelica can talk to both children and adults. Yeah. Well, that's one to haunt your childhood memories. Thanks, theorists. Number 2 is Samurai Jack and Powerpuff Girls share a universe. This theory says that Samurai Jack and the Powerpuff Girls may in fact share the same universe. First, art direction on both shows was by the same guy, Genndy Tartakovsky. Next, Powerpuff Girls tells the story of 3 little girls that were created by Professor Utonium to use their superpowers to fight evil. The city that they defend is Townsville, USA, a fictional city run by a childlike mayor. But distinctive signage and landmarks that are found in Townsville, USA are also found in Samurai Jack. Inspired by Akira Kurosawa, Samurai Jack follows a displaced samurai who struggles against an evil demonic wizard named Aku. The show itself is set in a distant dystopian future, and the destroyed city looks an awful lot like Townsville, USA. Based on these similarities and the timeline, many fans believe that Samurai Jack is actually a loose sequel to Powerpuff Girls. Yay! Another disturbing ending to another childhood favorite to many. I'm feeling good about these, how about you? Number 3 is the Magic School Bus kids grew into the Planeteers. During the 90s, Magic School Bus made its way onto television screens with the goal of presenting science in a fun way to kids. Miss Frizzle led a diverse group of kids through adventures every week, but those kids look awfully similar to an older group of Planeteers. This theory says that put side by side, these two groups of kids look incredibly alike and thus are likely the same people. Now, since Captain Planet aired earlier than the Magic School Bus, it's theorized that the Magic School Bus is actually a prequel to Captain Planet. To further support this theory, both shows are about the importance of science and are all about learning. Now granted, unlike Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack, there's no direct connection between the two universes, but still, it makes you think. You know, the Magic School Bus really set a high standard for school bus rides. I never got to go on a magical journey through the human body. All we ever got to do was go to the zoo. Actually, that wasn't all that bad. I got to see the elephants. Number 4 is Gilligan's Island's 7 Deadly Sins. We're all familiar with the 7 Deadly Sins, either from the Bible or that great Brad Pitt movie where they open the box at the end. Remember that? Well, this theory says that the shipwrecked sitcom Gilligan's Island from 1964 is actually based on those sins. The 7 castaways on the island are each connected to a sin. The professor is pride. I mean, he can build radio technology out of coconuts. You know he harbors an ego. Marianne envies Ginger's looks, while Ginger is lust incarnate. Mr. Howell, with his trunk full of cash, is greed, and Mrs. Howell embodies sloth because she does nothing on the island. And the final 2 sins of gluttony and wrath belong to the skipper, who is a rather large fellow and had a tendency to hit Gilligan with his hat almost every episode. That leaves the one who manages to keep them on the island episode after episode in this hellish life, Gilligan as Satan himself. Yeah, I'll give you all a moment to collect the tops of your heads that just blew off from that knowledge bomb I just dropped on you. Number 5 is The West Wing Alternate Universe. The West Wing was a show created by Aaron Sorkin that began in 1999, starring Martin Sheen. The show follows the trials and tribulations of President Bartlett and his staff through his presidency that takes place over the real Bush administration. This led many fans to wonder where President Bartlett fits in among the long line of presidents and how a Democrat could be nominated at that time in presidential history. Those questions spawned this theory, which says that Bartlett's presidency took place in a universe in which former President Richard Nixon was impeached instead of pardoned for the Watergate scandal. That one action would have potentially reverberated and led to a man like Bartlett taking office. Well, I can't blame those fans. I mean, who doesn't wonder what the world would be like if Bush never became president? I picture an America filled with smiles, rainbows, and candy for all! Number 6 is Ned Stark is not Jon Snow's father. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, like many others, you're probably very cautious of large twists and turns and spoilers, so be warned, this theory might actually end up on the show one day. Commonly known by the bastard named Snow, Jon believes he's the son of Ned Stark and his mother as a woman that Ned met while off at war. But the theory is that Jon may in fact actually be the son of Lyanna Stark, Ned's sister, who had a child with Rhaegar Targaryen, the son of the Mad King. I could go on with more names and details, but that would just get confusing, and frankly I have enough trouble keeping up with the show already. Both Kit Harington and Sean Bean, who play Snow and Stark respectively, have commented that they question that Jon is the son of Ned. Well, spoiler alert, but I'm calling that ish right now. That is happening on the show. Watch what happens. Number 7 is SpongeBob and Friends Are Mutants. Created by marine biologist and animator Steven Hillenburg, SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the highest rated programs to ever air on Nickelodeon. The show follows SpongeBob and a gang of bizarre characters through their misadventures in a land called Bikini Bottom. The show can be quite bizarre, leading some fans to create a theory that SpongeBob and his friends are the result of radioactivity. Strangely though, this might not be that far from the truth, as the official synopsis for the setting of the show, Bikini Bottom, takes place under the real location of Bikini Atoll, a place where nuclear tests took place in the 1940s and 50s. That would explain how the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom were affected by nuclear fallout, making them mutants of some kind. Well, that's not that weird as long as the talking sponge and his starfish friend don't get violent and come after humanity for revenge. Please stay in the ocean and keep making the kitty smile. Thanks. Number 8 is Scooby-Doo takes place in a depression. Scooby-Doo is a fondly remembered children's show that followed a group of teens who uncovered mysteries with their talking dog. But many people have examined the world that Scooby and the gang were exploring, which led to a disturbing theory. The theory is that the original series was set after a horrible economic depression. That would explain why everything is abandoned and falling apart, and why the villains are people that would normally be well respected. Professors, museum curators, and celebrities, all of which have fallen on hard times due to the economic fallout. They would then don a monster or ghost getup and haunt their former workplace. If only Scooby and the gang knew how to help these ghosts with their retirement funds, it would have made the show, well, a lot more boring, but less scary. Number 9 is Happy Days leads to That 70s Show. Yay, a happy theory! Kind of. Both Happy Days and That 70s Show have become sitcom staples, and you might think that that's all they share, but maybe not. There's a theory that says that That 70s Show might actually be a sort of sequel to Happy Days. The characters of Richie and Ralph go off to the Korean War while Fonzie stays behind. Richie, without Fonzie, who kept him cool, comes back from the war 20 years later as a bitter man and now goes by Red. Ralph, now known as Bob, has a fractured relationship with Red because the glue that was the Fonz is gone. Another interesting similarity is that Happy Days was set in the 50s but shot in the 70s, and That 70s Show was set in the 70s but shot in the 90s. Okay, so this wasn't exactly a happy theory, but both shows were pretty funny and made a bunch of people laugh, so let's focus on that. And number 10, Jetsons and the Flintstones in the same society. Hanna-Barbera has one of the best collections of cartoon characters, all with their own respective settings. But some fans have a theory that the Jetsons and the Flintstones are two portions of the same society. The Jetsons live their life in a picturesque future version of suburban life, while the people in Bedrock have built a society that rejects the day-to-day electronic assistance. The idea is that the Flintstones have constructed a way of life life similar to that of their long-dead ancestors. That would help explain the talking animals, as in the future these creatures would be synthetic. Animals in this world would have died off, so they utilized robot animals and used them like kitchen appliances. Furthermore, in 1987 there was a crossover episode where the Flintstones met the Jetsons. The episode involved time travel, but perhaps it was never time travel at all. Okay, I'm good. That's enough for ruining your favorite TV shows. You're welcome. And that's all for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give that like button a click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, remember to click that red subscribe button because I upload every Tuesday and Saturday. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later on my second channel and on my social media. Peace.